XRP holders out there are starting to ask themselves what's going to come first, regs or the case decision. That's right, it doesn't seem that Congress is acting too fast and there is no hard deadline for Judge Torres. You see all the dog hair on my floor? It's because my sweet girl Leia is hanging out with us in the studio. I kid you not, I can vacuum this floor within 2 to 3 days later. I can find bundles of hair, and it's all because of this wonderful doggy right here. Let's get into that crypto news. Shout out to all the pet owners out there. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's why I'm wearing a black hoodie, right, with the white dog. Oh, man. Heat map, ETH, pullback central, 1647, down 5.25%. Bitcoin under the 25,000 mark, sitting at 24,670. XRP, highlight of the show, no love at all with the rebound, and now facing even more downward pressure, sitting at 36.1, down 5.5% last 24 hours. ISO action is happening. I released some of this information on Twitter before I do a YouTube video on it, just because it's faster. Let's be honest with each other here. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, that will be linked in the description below. But ISO release starts March of 2023 with Swift, and then the European Commission doing it as well. Check that out, everyone. CPI data, these are the fears and the big stories. Fears, why? Because CPI data is not good enough to stop the Fed from raising rates next week. That's right. Right now, the market is expecting and pricing in, as you can see, a 1/4 point hit. Yep, even though we've had Silvergate, even though we had Silicon Valley, that kind of action happening, guess what? Jerome Powell and the Fed still have to come in because 6.0 was not low enough. It was only a change of 0.4. I mean, what are you going to do? And we're still way, way, way far away from the target. But now let's get into the Deaton story. Deaton says Ripple case could get to the Supreme Court before Congress acts. I think he's got a good point here. Because you know what? Congress is not acting quick at all to make new crypto regs. They're just letting Gary Gensler and the SEC use old, outdated regs out there to rule the industry. Pro-XRP lawyer maintains that the courts will be the only source of clarity for the crypto space over the next 2 years. Thinking, hey, guess what? While this current administration is more so the Biden administration, we're not going to go anywhere. You're going to see partisan politics. Attorney John Deaton has claimed that the United States Securities and Exchange Commission case against Ripple could make it to the U.S. Supreme Court before Congress creates a regulatory framework for the crypto industry. For context, the case is in the district court and would need to reach the circuit court first of appeals and then go to the Supreme Court. Here is that tweet from Deaton. I've said it for 2 years. Clarity comes from the courts, not from Congress, and not the SEC. See, the SEC right now is regulating by enforcement. That's not what we want. This is new technology. Outdated laws. Ripple case could be heard by the Supreme Court before Congress acts. We must fight this. In the SEC government budget proposal, again, Twitter action, I told you, got to follow on Twitter. It's linked down below. In the SEC's government budget proposal, they've got some action here highlighted. They want more money to fight and enforce crypto. They could go after as many as 200 crypto actions in the next couple of years. Further, over the last 5 years, this is from the SEC, we have seen a substantial increase in the crypto market, where investors are putting their hard-earned assets at risk in highly speculative asset classes. Today, investors in these markets lack fundamental disclosures about crypto assets themselves and about the firms who execute their trades and custody their assets. While we work to ensure that issuers, intermediaries, and tokens properly come into compliance, we will not hesitate to use every tool in our toolbox to root out non-compliance, such as through investigations and enforcement actions. So think about that. The SEC out there in their budget meeting, they're asking for more money. They're going to use it to regulate crypto. Crypto is so massive in size that they're like, hey, look, it's so big we can't just do it with what we need. We need more staff to go after people. Deaton's got a good point here. The U.S. government out there is not acting quickly at all. I mean, not at all. No pace whatsoever. I just looked at the calendar for the Senate as well as the House for the rest of this month because we still got 2 weeks left, everyone. By the way, next week, Jerome Powell and the Fed, 1 week from today, hit that subscribe button. They're going to do their rate hike. Remember, quarters priced in. But Congress, I checked their schedule. Yeah, they're working. Well, the Senate's working more than the House. The House's schedule is pretty weak. But no crypto action in the foreseeable future on the schedule. So XRP right now is going to hang in the balance price-wise. Got it up on the screen, down 5.9%. Investors and traders right now are waiting for court case resolution because we know we would all get super old and turn into skeletons if we were waiting for the U.S. Congress. All right, got a little tidbit in a nugget for you if you're still here. Credit Suisse running into troubles. Rumor mill, everyone. Yep, so if you're still watching now, you're getting hot, juicy action. Credit Suisse up in the game. Again, linked on Twitter, guys. Credit Suisse offering 6.5% annual rate on new 3-month deposits of $5 million or above, and at a rate as high as 7% for 1-year deposits, far above matched maturity bills, and suggesting that to attract a client. The bank is forced to eat a giant loss. All right, so here's what's happening. You got UBS, Citi, and JP Morgan. They've all got their 3-month rates, all right? Banks, when they want to like build up capital, right? They want some cash action. They'll start selling off some of the stuff. 3-month action, year, whatever the hell they got, okay? Right now, the rate for this, Credit Suisse is at 6.5%, JP Morgan 5.25%, UBS 5%. So the reason they're getting their rates up super high is to attract money to come in. The reason they want money to come in more so than normal, right? Offer more than what their competitors can, is because there's a run on cash right now on Credit Suisse. So credit to you if you've stuck around to the end, because guess what? Credit Suisse now is going the route of Luna UST. Because remember what Do Kwon said? F 20%, let's give 40%. What did Mashinsky say? Screw it, let's give 20%. Credit Suisse right now is saying screw it in banking terms and giving 6.5%, almost 25% bigger than its competitor JP Morgan. That discrepancy between 5.25%, that's a 25% more yield when you compare the two. That is what Credit Suisse is doing right now to attract cash, and they're going to be taking a big hit because they're not making 6.5%. So what is the deal with all these banks crashing? Well, it has to do with the bond market, right? With the Fed raising rates super fast, it made the bond gap way too big. If you don't know about that and you want to learn about that, that's this video right here. If you want to see me do a food challenge app where every calorie I burn, I get to earn one towards Krispy Kreme donuts, that's this video right here. Now, until more news breaks, check out my dog, you cool cats, though. Have a great rest of your day.